All right, I got really excited yesterday. Went into one of my local outdoor stores and they had some cold maxes in stock. Some
Formax
cold
counts.
max, some cold steels in stock that I like. They don't normally have, you know. And I picked up a Formax Scout. Yeah, I handled a bunch of cold steels yesterday that I hadn't actually like the Colossus, yeah, the Spartan. There's a few of them up there that I had never actually seen in person before. It's like I'm kind of new to the cold steel world anyway. But this knife reminded me as soon as it like I got it in my hand, it kind of reminded me of the Grayman Satu, and like it's light years away from being a Satu, but it felt
Very
familiar.
similar.
It's a 10-inch knife with a 4-inch blade, 6-inch handle. The handle on the Satu is definitely um,
Thicker.
thicker or taller,
Right,
I guess you
wider
would
or
say.
something. Yeah.
And of course the components that made up the Satu were premium.
Right.
But it felt good enough. I was like, I can deal with this until I get a Satu. You know, it's and really, man, it's not a deal with type situation. I overpaid for this knife by a little bit, but I bought it local, and I'm willing to do that whenever I can see something in local. Like it's
99's too high for that.
not. I mean, not in my opinion. You can grab these up off of Blade HQ in different color configurations, like OD green with a black blade for about $81.
Okay.
They got other colors. They got the desert tan with a satin blade for about $82. Now, for whatever reason, this knife, which is the code is 62 RQ, um, that knife is 107 on Blade HQ. So that means the $99 that I spent on it would have been about a $7 discount. So, like, just depending on how you want to look at it, like, I mean, this was the only color they had. If they would have
Right.
had a different color for $10 cheaper or almost $20 cheaper, I probably would have took it. But I'm not sure why that stonewash blade and that black Grivex is more expensive than any other color configuration. I don't understand that. One thing I can tell you,
It's pretty much a basic
I
for
almost took my
most stuff.
finger off.
You almost took your finger off.
Yeah, because
Oh,
I'm really not good at
yeah.
this. But it come down like it. Most of the time, yesterday when I was trying to break it in, I was getting pretty much the same uh, action as you just saw. And
Oh,
see, like
yeah.
that, like so, like when it wants to guillotine, it wants to guillotine, and there's not really a good spot for me to catch it. Like I've got to have my hand back so far to be able to get my thumb on this, that reaching my hand all the way up here behind that finger choil is kind of rough. So like I think this is going to be
Hand closer.
a two hand closer for me anyway. I mean, like you can
Definitely
do
would
it.
be for me.
Some model Crawford one. We still got the wood scales in. More than likely we'll get those out and put something that's a little less cracky in there. I like the way the wood feels, but it's not. When the wood. All right, we're not wood experts,
By
but
any means.
by any stretch of the imagination. But when we carved those out, we put them in there. I worked with it for a little while, carried it for a few weeks, and the I can feel the wood cracking beneath my fingertips. So it's not the most durable material. And we've tried some other types of woods, well, at least one other type of wood, and
That one couldn't even get
that
it
was
made.
ridiculous. So, like, I mean, I'm gonna have to go function over form, and if I got to use vinyl, we're gonna use some vinyl. I think you did a really good job on the knife we sent Dion, uh, and we can just look at different vinyls or whatever until we find a wood that's gonna do okay and stay in one piece at that thin. Was I want to say it's 1/32
It is thin.
1/32 inch, And anyway,
Speaking of, if you want to we'll go look at vinyl, we need to do that today because they are not open tomorrow.
okay, that's cool. But the Cold Steel Max is 10 inches, man. It's a huge knife. You got some numbers written down on
I
there?
do. All right, so blade length is 4 inches. Overall is 10 inches. The blade thickness is 4.8 millimeters.
No, 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 no.
Oh, okay.
Let's do it in inches.
Well, they didn't have it in inches.
I know. I don't know why. But we're gonna. 210 thousandths.
0.21.
This is 0.21. 19. You get past that swedge down at the tip. How about 150 thousandths? I love the way this thing feels in hand. Like, I ain't lying, man. Like, the grip is incredible. Like, it feels like skateboard grip, or whatever, like grip tape, you know. And like, that's kind of what I want to put on the jimping of the K-bar. Speaking of the jimping, it's got plenty of it, and it's actually it's good. Like it's there's only a few spots there, but like it's plenty for your thumb, and it's like, I don't feel like I'm lacking any jimping here. Like, it feels really good. I like it. Hand position, man, you could hold it like way back here, and that could be a chopping machine.
Yeah, because it's pretty much a little more than an ounce per inch. It's 10.2 ounces.
It's not a lightweight knife, y'all. But it does have a really good balance point. I mean, it's right there where it should be. It's the Andrew Demko design.
It is.
And it does feature the triad lock, and it features one thick triad lock. That is, look at that lock.
Yeah,
Get another hand in here. Check this thing out, dude. That's all lock. It's a beefy monster, man. It's one beast of a knife. But I'm like really happy with it. Like, I'm gonna keep my eye out on the secondary for like a USA or an Italian that might come up. That's I'm gonna skip the other Taiwanese model in the S35VN. My opinion, AUS 10A. Like I said, I don't have a lot of experience with the AUS 10A, but I do have some experience with AUS 8, and
that Cold Steel does.
That Cold Steel does, and I will take the AUS 8 over most people's S35VN. So I'm not going to look at S35VN as being that much of an upgrade. But go ahead.
No, go ahead. I wasn't going to.
Oh, you're fine. I was just going to say, like, I'll take my chances with the AUS 10A unless this knife gives me a reason not to. But I do think this is going to be a carrier. I think I'm probably going to carry this thing a lot.
Okay.
What you got?
And for those that don't know, like, some differences between the Scout and the original 4MAX. They both have the extra wide drop point blade. They're both stone wash finished. Different steel type.
Yeah, the original come in CPM 20CV, and that's the USA model. And
then the Scout mirrors the design of the handle and everything on the original 4MAX, but it's in Grivex instead of G10 and has stainless steel liners.
Okay. So what kind of liners does the original have? Titanium?
I think so.
Okay, that's fair enough. Man, it just, I don't know, man. I like this knife. Like, I didn't expect to, because everything I was handling yesterday, I was like, you know, but it doesn't feel bad to me.
There it is.
Pretty much
it takes up my whole hand. Just like
6-inch closed knife, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much the same story as the Sawtooth.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna try to get my fingers, but I'm gonna try to. How did you have that? There we go.
Yeah. But it is a monster. It's a beefy monster. I love it. Like if I can get my hands on a premium model for a decent price, I'm going to. I'm not in a hurry. I'll just keep my eyes peeled. Plus, that gives me plenty of time to put this thing through some beating and see how it comes out on the other side. But I'm doing a lot of stuff off camera with this one. Well, one negative I would like, and this ain't really a negative, it's just personal preference, but look at that pocket clip.
Yeah.
The screws are spread out so far. Maybe it needs to be with a knife this heavy. It's a good possibility. But I'm not crazy about the pocket clip. I don't have anything else I can replace it with. It's all good. But it does have a lanyard hole. It's got a hole back here. I asked Jimmy Slash about this on Instagram yesterday. I said, "What is that hole for?" He said that pin. There was a hole there for a pin to make it to give it an even extra, like an extra layer of security that they did on the original 4Max, I believe, or yeah, I believe it was the original 4Max, and they don't use that pin anymore.
Would that keep it from falling back on your finger?
I mean, you know, where it's placed, it seemed like maybe the original had a flipper, and this was something that the flipper, like the flipper had a D10 on it or something like that, and it was a place for it to fall. I don't know. I have no idea. It does seem like it's placed very weird for additional lock.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like the blade would have to travel through it.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Yeah, that wouldn't.
I don't know the whole story. And if it was up here, like if you had a pin going from one side to the next, obviously you wouldn't be able to open the knife at all. So I don't know the whole story, but you know, Jimmy was he was trying to explain it to me. But overall, I really like this knife, man. You know, like I do. It needs some breaking in, but it feels like you got a knife in your hand, like you know, kind of the same feeling as whenever I was carrying the Satu for those couple of days. It just
The only negative I'd have with it is the lockback. Like, I'm not a fan of the lockback. I don't like the idea of having to have my fingers in the way of where the blade's going to come.
Yeah,
In order to push it down.
Just kind of needs to be a two-handed knife at that point, you know. Like, and there's a lot of people that will accept this lockback because it is the triad lock, and it is arguably by a lot of people that know a lot more about knives than I do, or at least they act like they do. Is the strongest locking mechanism in the game.
Yeah, it's the Scout's supposed to have withstood 600 pounds of free hanging weight.
That's a lot of weight. Yeah. I mean, and I don't I don't doubt that, but you know, like that's I think all lockbacks or backlocks are actually you know, like to say the Buck 110, you know, just a regular lockback is probably a way more secure than most of your forgive me, but I'm gonna say gimmicky, you know, styles. Even like some of my favorite knives have like what I would consider to be gimmicky styles, like the Scorpion lock and stuff like that. And man, I'm not gonna take anything away from the Scorpion lock. It's designed by the same people, so like I don't know how much it will withstand. I didn't look into it, but it's a different kind of locking mechanism. For me, doesn't matter. A regular old liner lock is gonna be fine because I'm not a hard use folder type of guy. I've got fixed blades, and if we got to do something that's extremely if I'm gonna be second guessing a lock fail, I'm gonna go pick up a K-bar Becker. Period. Or whatever else we got back there. You know that like I'm gonna be picking up something with a full tang and it doesn't fold in the first place.
Right.
There's gonna be no chance of it failing because it's
unless it breaks out of the handle itself.
Right.
You ain't gonna have those issues.
But I mean, really, we got to put ourselves in positions we have to plan to put ourselves in positions to overuse a knife because we just don't do it on a regular basis. Like, when we like, hey, let's go out to the woods today and beat the shit out of some knives.
Yeah.
You know, like, and so that's what we do. But so I'm not worried about how strong that lock is. And yeah, I probably would prefer to see it in something else. But like the Colossus, I believe it was one that had a differentiating or a different locking mechanism. I definitely know. Well, I can see the knife. But I can't think of the name of it. The Spartan.
You said that one earlier, yeah.
Man, I don't definitely know shit. The Spartan may have been.
We have figured this out by now.
There's a knife that I played with yesterday. In the store that had a mechanism where you pull back on the butt, and it was like a camp knife. It wasn't the Spartan, and there was another locking mechanism that I saw for the first time yesterday from Cold Steel as well. It wasn't the Scorpion lock. We got an AT-15, but there was something that I handled yesterday that I was like, oh, okay, all right, yeah, that's interesting. But it may have been the Atlas lock, which is, you know. It's like a spine lock.
Yeah. Now, I think I would prefer that over the lockback myself.
There's a knife they got that's called the Engage that I kind of really wouldn't mind checking out. they've got one in G10, and it seems like a pretty cool knife. It's I think it had S35V in it as well or something. But yeah, like there's the Engage. I want to say the Verdict may have the Atlas lock on it as well. I mean, no, the Verdict doesn't. It's a Triad lock. I get really confused because this brand has got a little bit of everything. One more note to mention: this is 15 minutes, so if you happen to still be here, the knife has got a finger choil for some precision work, but it's not something I would use if I was going to be going ham on something
Yeah,
like
because
forward,
it
because
doesn't
there's
have anything
nothing
that stops your finger from sliding on that blade.
right. But if you were just carving something, especially like in a way where be pushing your hand backwards instead of bringing it forwards, then you got a little bit of extra space up here to grip up and or choke up and get a better grip. But $99, I would probably say this is the, without even being able to use it. This is just our unboxing and first impressions video, pretty much. I would say this is probably the best $99 I've ever spent on a knife.
It's definitely better than the $125 you spent.
That's why I had to buy this one. I had to find something that was worth the amount that I paid for
your so-called knife.
Yeah, my so-called knife and the knife that I was buying. I had to find something that was so outrageously underpriced, and this is it. This is it. I mean, even if I overpaid for it, it's like, I mean, it's 10 ounces of knife, man. With a Triad lock. And look at that lock. Would you look at it? I'm gonna steal that from Bees Blades. Would you just look at it? Anyway, I'm happy with it. If you got any questions, concerns, comments, please leave them below. Thank you to everybody that supports the channel.
We need to start telling Patreons we got new ones.
Yeah, yeah. This is very late in the video, but if you happen to still be here, thank you for all the patrons, or the patrons, and we got a list of friends that you need to check out in our channel description as well. You guys have a great rest of your afternoon. We'll catch you on the flip side.